Here is a late 1980s or early 1990s Kenwood model KA-4010 amplifier. This is a not so recent dump find, and the previous owner must have had some great fun throwing this away, because this has had quite an impact in the e-waste container. As you can see, that right there in the corner, that is not just some worn off paint, that is some actual aluminium that's missing. But that is nothing compared to the bottom of the amplifier. As you can see, it looks only half as bad on camera. As you can see, this is pretty well dented. But I do like that this does have a detachable bottom panel. So first of all, I'm going to take this off and straighten it out. Yeah, that is pretty bad. But on the bright side, the chassis seems to be fine. I straightened out this section a little bit, but that was all it needed. Here is the inside of the amplifier, and this is a nice one. Mains comes in right there. There is a fuse, big transformer, fist for scale, power switch, and the speaker selector over there. Then moving to the other side, this is the cartridge selector switch for the phono preamp. This is the input selector switch. This right here could be the tape monitor switch, but Kenwood decided to mix it with the source direct switch and turn it into a mess. Normally, a tape monitor switch switches between source and tape. Well, here it is, tape 2, source direct. Why? Why did they do that instead of just putting source direct onto a separate switch? There is tape 1, and then for some reason there is a dubbing position, but only one. So you can dub from tape 1 to tape 2, but not from tape 2 to tape 1. Moving on, we have the driver circuitry on this daughter board. This is the power supply section. There are the filter capacitors under a piece of foam. These are 10,000 microfarads at 56 volts each. We have a nice beefy output stage connected to a big heatsink. There are the speaker outputs, 2 relays for protection, and for some reason they have this piece of plastic glued to them. Not sure what's up with that. Same procedure as usual. Let's apply power. Turn on the amplifier. And there was a click. I can also see some very faint lights. There is a power light. There is a source direct light. I have the voltmeter ready, and I have these test leads with like a banana plug section on them, so I can just comfortably plug these straight into the back of the amplifier. And we have around about 2 millivolts. That's good. That's very good. Other channel. We have 1 millivolt. Right, that seems promising, so let's connect some speakers and a source. Uh-oh, I found some more damage. Good thing I wanted to plug in a CD player, because the phono input is not available. Right, everything has been connected, so let's reapply power. Now you can see the lights. Click. And yeah, CD. Ooh. Oh, we have some bad contacts. Oh yeah, some bad contacts. I'm not going to select the phono input. Well, of course, the bass intensifier is not going to do anything because it's on source direct. What the hell? There is a source direct here. There is a tone defeat over here. What is this? It's like there is 2 direct switches in this. That is just mysterious. Okay, I don't really hear any difference between having the bass intensifier on or off. But other than that, seems like we need to fix that phono input jack and apply some contact cleaner. That should be it. Here is the phono input connector as seen from the inside of the amplifier. This is the left channel, this is ground, this is the right channel, and then this grounds the screw that's holding this connector to the back panel. So I guess this is where the amplifier circuit is grounded to the chassis. I went through my box of spare audio connectors, and these are all the single pair RCA connectors. The only one that has at least roughly the same footprint as the one in the amplifier is this one. It doesn't have the grounded screw hole, so I'll have to see what I can do about that. And it's green, so that will be biodegradable record players only, I guess. Of course, the service access panel does not extend all the way into the corner, so that's going to be a bit of a journey. And in case you wonder, yes, you can push this connector back in place, but it's completely loose, so you're not going to fix that. And after taking out countless screws, as well as one of these silly push pins, the back panel has been removed. The main board is loose, and I think I now have sufficient access to the phono connector. And it's out. One broken RCA connector. I put in the replacement and it doesn't line up. So this is going to require some modifications. Modification complete. I was able to transplant the ground connection for the screw, and then I extended all the other connections. I just wrapped and soldered some wire onto those. So hopefully that's now going to work. And there it is. It's not pretty, but it's green, and that's all that matters these days. I took the opportunity and resoldered all the input and output connections, and now it's time to put everything back together. I just noticed another problem, and it's a good thing that I did. Yeah, that power cord is unsafe. And suddenly it all starts going rather fast. I reassembled the amplifier. I redid just a few more solder joints. I will say, compared to other manufacturers' equipment from the same time period, the soldering in this amplifier is very good. I took the unit to the air compressor to get rid of all the dust and dirt. I replaced the power cord and I sprayed these two selector switches. Those appear to be the only switches that needed some contact cleaner. If I now bring up the volume, as you can hear, no more contact problems. And let's demonstrate the phono input. Yeah, that's an LP playing at 45 RPM. We'll see what the copyright police thinks about this one. Here is the bottom panel in the vice grips. I clamped the panel right where the impact was, and I hope straightening out that section is going to also straighten out the entire panel. So far it's looking pretty good. Let me now release the vice grips and let's see if the panel remains flat. Almost. Well, you can still kind of see it in this area, but I'd say that, yeah, that's a million times better than before. And here is the amplifier with the faceplate removed. That's hiding another circuit board. So I just inspected that, but once again, no bad solder joints. Well done, Kenwood. Here is the faceplate itself. Let's see if we can get a closer look at the damaged corner. I just went over this with a file, trying not to make it look any worse, but there were some rather sharp edges, and I wanted to at least get rid of those. I cleaned the faceplate, so it's now ready to go back together. Putting the amplifier back together, there was originally this block of foam glued to the bottom panel right around here, pushing up against the main board. And I had a suspicion, so I measured this thing, and it turns out it has in fact gone slightly conductive. Or maybe it has always been slightly conductive. It's not a good conductor, it's about 100 megaohms per centimeter, but in this position it shorts across a bunch of circuitry on the board. I'm not liking this, so this block is not going back. The bottom panel is back in place. There is still a bit of a dent right here, but as you can clearly see, it's nowhere near as bad as it was. And there it is, the Kenwood KA-4010 amplifier, repaired, cleaned, and ready to go. Thank you for watching.